Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another Friday. A Friday in September. Seriously don't know where this year has gone. It's just mad. Welcome to everyone. If you're joining me for the first time or if you're my lovely regulars, as always, do pop a hello in the comments so that I know I'm not waffling to myself and the dog, who's fast asleep. Really very excited about this morning's talk. He's so excited he's fast asleep. Good morning, Jess. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Eva, and good morning, Sue. Oh, wow. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, Maria. Yeah, Eric would say hello, but he's asleep. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Sylvie. Yeah, it's a hard life, isn't it? Oh, hello. Don't worry. Get back to sleep. He's just keeping his eye out. Good morning, Sue. Oh, Jessie's just back from the school run. All back to school already. My youngest starts on Tuesday. Good morning, Diane. Good. Yep, Pete and Eric, they're both here. Pete's working hard. Eric's sleeping hard. Good morning, Lani. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Kay. Wow, fantastic. Lots and lots of lovely people. Thank you so much. Oh, hello. Hello. I'm going to say good morning to everybody. No, not really. You just go back to sleep. Hey, just go back to sleep. He's sulking because I bought him a new collar. He's not happy about wearing it. But anyway, good morning, Jessie. Yes, Friday morning again, September. You can feel the crispness in the air in the south of England this week. This week in particular, the mornings have been quite fresh and crisp. It's got that kind of feeling to the air. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Rhiannon. Found me. Hey! Here. Yeah, so the wheel is turning. You can feel it. And I have to admit, I'm not a big one on too much heat. So the autumn is my favourite. I think it's probably the favourite of a lot of witches. But yeah, best time of the year, says Eva. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Autumn is fabulous. The garden is starting to wind down as well. We did a big tidy up last weekend, preparing it for the autumn. He's only licking his foot. Right, this morning, as always, I and ah about what to talk about. And as always, thank you to the gods, something comes up. Good morning, Irene. Rhiannon, yep, Rhiannon loves autumn. Caroline, favourite time of the year. Yep, good morning, Kerry. Yeah, it is. Autumn's good, isn't it? I am definitely an autumn-winter kind of gal. So anyway, the idea popped into my head because I picked up this. And I used it. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to show everybody what it's for and what's inside it. But not yet. I'm going to talk first and save that till the end. But that inspired my subject for today. Lani is loving the change. So glad the hot weather has gone. Yeah, I must admit, summer's lovely and I love being in the garden and all the plants and everything. But yeah, no. Leslie, I'm at my best in autumn. Yep. Good morning, Karen. Karen's in Cornwall. Oh, very jealous. Very, very jealous. We have a holiday booked in Cornwall it was booked for this year, but we've moved it to next year. Tintagel we're going to. Love it down there. Debbie loves autumn. Just glad not to have your fan on constantly. Yeah, definitely. Christine's decorative autumn. Yep, oranges and browns around the house. Yep, fantastic. I've actually seen pumpkins for sale already, which is a little bit mad. But yep, autumn. 'Tis the season of the witch. Definitely. Right. So anyway, see, I get so easily distracted. Sue, visit Boscastle. Yes, I have been to Boscastle before, Sue. It is very, very lovely. We walk all in there on the way. Cornwall, just love it. Fantastic part of the country. Anyway, so today I am going to, that's Karen's intentional right now. I'm seriously jealous now, Karen. We should have been there next week, but we decided to postpone it. But anyway, right, let's focus. Focusing on meditation. Now, I know it might sound like a slightly boring subject and everybody goes, oh, I know how to do that, or, you know, oh, I can never do that, or, yeah. It's actually a huge subject, and I want to touch on several different areas today associated with meditation. Not just meditation, but also journeying, pathworking, and one that I follow particularly, which is hedge riding. So meditation is not just sitting there with your legs crossed uncomfortably, because I can't sit like that for very long, and humming to yourself. It can be anything from daydreaming. Daydreaming is a form of meditation, right through to a proper turn the lights out, light the incense, lose yourself for an hour. You do not have to meditate for hours on end unless you are a Tibetan monk, when obviously that's their calling. I tend to keep my meditations anywhere between 5 minutes and half an hour at the most, because my focus just doesn't stay that long. But a 5-minute meditation is better than no meditation. But there are all sorts. So this is from my Pagan Portals meditation book, just because, yeah, I like to write books. There is Ascension Meditation, perhaps the ultimate goal. And if anybody has watched Stargate or Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, you will know all about Ascension, because you should just watch Stargate Atlantis anyway, because it's superb. But yes, perhaps the ultimate goal of meditation is ascension, to achieve pure enlightenment and self-realization through meditative practices. It's about ascending to the union with divine. I suspect there's very, very few people that have actually done that, but yeah, something to aim for. This is a good word, and I'm probably not going to pronounce it properly. Apophatic meditation. Meditation without images or visualizations, but concentrating instead on the divine love that fills the world. In this state, you are reflective, but not stressed, enabling you to ground and find balance. I suspect at the moment, finding divine love that fills the world might be a little bit challenging, but again, something to aim for. Breathing meditation, you're probably familiar with, where you focus on your breath, concentrating on each breath you take in and each breath you exhale, connecting with your life force. I tend to do that for a very short while at the beginning of any meditation. I think focusing on your breathing really helps kick in that state that you need to be in. Cleansing meditation, useful for cleansing your chakras or your aura. Contemplative inquiry meditation. See, these have got some really brilliant names. Contemplative inquiry meditation. Do excuse me, I'm going to do a contemplative inquiry meditation. Sounds quite posh, doesn't it? This is when you have a question, you ask it, and then you reflect upon it. You allow your subconscious to throw answers and quite often more questions your way. I do work with that quite often. If I've got a question or something I need the answer to, then a quick meditation is always really, really useful. Again, as I'm waffling, as always, if you've got any questions, do type them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. Daydreaming. Don't discount it as a form of meditation. It really, really is. And if we've probably all had those moments when you sort of snap out of it and think, oh, I was daydreaming there. That's a meditation. Very, very useful. Gratitude meditation. Practice that focuses on contentment, happiness, and joy through feeling total gratitude and being grateful for everything that you have in life. Guided meditation. I like doing these because it helps keep the mind monkeys out. You literally listen to a script. You can read a script and then sort of memorize it, or you can listen to a recording. I like to listen to the recording because it keeps me more focused, I must find. That I find anyway. Heart meditation, by focusing your practice on opening your heart and sacral chakra to increase your ability to love and release. Andrea likes guided meditations. Yep, I do find them the best ones for me. Sue uses mindfulness. Yep, I've got that on my list too. Hedge riding, which I'm going to talk about in a while, similar to shamanic journeying, where the hedge witch journeys to the other world or the underworld realms via the hedge. Intentionally meditation. This involves a prayer or a blessing. You say a prayer and then you just listen quietly to any messages that might come. And I might be pronouncing this wrong. Kasina, Kasina meditation. It's a Buddhist practice of concentration meditation to settle the mind. Involves visualizing multiple objects associated with the 4 elements and the 4 colors, which I actually like the sound of. I have done meditations focused on the elements before, and it's always been quite successful. Another weird one, weird as in I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, Kinhin, Kinhin, which is a walking meditation practiced in between long periods of sitting meditation. The practitioner walks clockwise around the room, holding their hands with one hand closed in a fist and the other grasping to cover the fist. During the meditation, each step is taken after each full breath. Interesting one. Haven't tried that. I have tried walking meditation, but not quite like that. Mantra meditation, which is repeating the word or the phrase. Maria likes visualization guided meditation. Yeah, it holds my attention, definitely. If you are one for mind monkeys, then the guided meditations do seem to work really well. Christine, crazy as it seems, I love meditating to the sounds of drums. Oh, absolutely, Christine. The drum is one of my favorite sounds, and to meditate to it, fantastic, definitely. Sue's glad she's not the only one who uses the phrase mind monkeys. Yeah, if you're unsure about what mind monkeys is, it's when all the thoughts keep coming into your head when you're trying to clear it for meditating. Those are mind monkeys. Sylvie prefers guided meditation. Daydream occurs quite often these days. Yeah, we do. We all like a bit of daydreaming. Eva loves walking meditation in labyrinth. Yes, if you can find a labyrinth, that's a really good thing to do. You can also do the labyrinth one by using a hand labyrinth. You can draw a labyrinth on the page, or I know some potteries make ceramic ones, and you just run your finger around the labyrinth and you meditate while you're doing that as well. Sue thinks most people in the supermarkets are doing walking meditation. They all seem to be walking into each other. Yeah. I think it's because it's a boring occupation thing to do, isn't it? It's just doing your shopping. So you do it on automatic. Another one is metta meditation or loving kindness meditation. It's a Pali word that translates as kindness, benevolence, and goodwill. And that's another Buddhism practice. Mindfulness meditation, which has been mentioned. This meditation requires you to just sit quietly and intentionally observe your thoughts, emotions, and feelings, not judging, but just watching and focusing on the present moment. It's adapted from a traditional Buddhist practice. It's quite a useful one, especially if you've got stuff going on, because you can just sit and observe what's going through your mind without actually interacting with it. Just to it helps you, I think, it helps you in your daily living to pay attention to what's going on. Pathworking and Journeying, which I'm going to talk about in a minute as well, is specific meditations to seek answers and healing. You have quite a specific structure set out for that one. Planetary Meditation is when several people from across the world meditate at a set time of the day to focus on world peace, which is quite a nice idea. Pranayama, which is the regulation of your breathing, used to calm the mind and prepare it for meditation. Not exactly a meditation form on its own, but part of meditation practices. Chai Kung, spelt Qi, Qong. It's a Chinese word that means life energy cultivation, and it works with exercises for your mind and your body to bring health, meditation, and martial arts training together. Seeking meditation, used when you seek consult with a deity or your spirit animal guide, and I do that quite often too, although I find that my spirit animal guide joins me generally in meditation anyway. Self-inquiry, Atma Vichara, again, apologise for the pronunciation, Sanskrit term meaning self-inquiry or to investigate our true nature, the age-old who am I question. This practice aims to discover your true self and true being. You will need to ask, who am I? Within yourself, and reject the initial verbal answers. The question is used to fix your attention, but you must become one with it and go deep. A little bit scary, that one, perhaps. Shamanic journeying, performed by shamanic practitioners who enter a trance-like state, quite often through hypnotic drumming and or dancing, to enter the realms of spirit, the other world, to seek wisdom and healing, and quite often soul retrieval as well. Spiritual meditation, bit of a giveaway in the title, meditating on your spirit. I've got a lot of notes today because there's lots of stuff to remember. Tantra. I know what you're thinking, but I'm sorry to disappoint. Tantra practices have nothing to do with hours and hours of getting naked. I'm really sorry. My husband's just booed. Sorry about that. The Tantra texts list 108 different meditations. A lot of them are for the advanced practitioner, as they require absolute focus of mind, but they cover a lot of familiar ground, such as focusing on objects, the space between thoughts inside your head, sound of your heart, the universe. So sorry to disappoint. Yeah, I do know you so well, Christine. That's why we all get on so well. Same sense of humor. Taoist meditation, Chinese philosophy, and Daoism is a Chinese philosophy and religion that dates back to 6th century BC. Focuses on living in harmony with nature, and the meditation generates. Oh, I need new teeth today. The meditation generates transformation and circulation of inner energy to quiet and unify the body, mind, and spirit to find inner peace. So I believe Sting was into Tantra. Yes, that was the rumor, wasn't it? I do believe he works with that. Breathing meditation, focusing on your breath to unite your body and your chi, which is your energy, your inner energy. Visualizing the inside of your body and mind, including these squishy bits, your inner deities and your life force. Tai Chi meditation, which is movement with to move your chi or your life force through your body to cleanse and clear out negative energy. So you can borrow my teeth. They have to go to the dentist soon. Actually, I've got the dentist on Monday. Maybe that's what I need. Transcendental meditation, which is actually trademarked. It's a specific type of mantra meditation originating in the mid-50s in India. It can only apparently be learnt by paying one of the Transcendental Meditation licensed instructors. Oh dear. But I'm sure you can find a lot of the bits and pieces on the internet. I didn't say that. Vipassana is a Pali word meaning insight or clear seeing, and this is a traditional Buddhist practice. So there's a lot of this has come from India and from Buddhism, and all different variations, but all really with a main sort of theme to them. Visualization, which I'm sure most of us do work with, and actually we teach it in the Kitchen Witch School as well, because I think visualization is quite key to working magic and ritual. I think it really helps. But visualization and meditation is focusing on just one image, whether it's a candle, a crystal, an image from nature. Again, gives your mind focus, allows it to concentrate on one thing, and helps bring calm and still. Yoga meditation, although I'm not overly bendy, I have tried this. Yoga, we all know what yoga is, but added in breathing exercises and the meditation that comes with it. It's all about moving your body in harmony, really, isn't it? Third eye meditation is focusing on your third eye to help silence the mind and subconsciously looking at the spot. Chakra meditations, balancing the chakras, focusing on each one. Gazing meditation, which involves focusing on an object. I'm sure we've pretty much all done that. Kundalini meditation, quite a complex practice, the goal of which is to awaken your Kundalini energy. That's your snake energy that comes from your base chakra. That's your power, your oomph. It lies at the base of your spine. There are a lot of qualified yogis that teach that kind of practice. Alani, visualization is great for focus. My mind is terribly Yes, my mind wanders all over the place. Tess loves visualization with an open fire. Yeah, flame gazing is fantastic. According to Sue's husband, yoga is the stuff that comes in a pot and you keep in the fridge. Yeah, I like a bit of fruit yoga. It's actually probably easier for me to deal with than the other yoga, that's for sure. I'm just going to turn my sound off because my machine keeps pinging at me. And then sound meditation, which is, focusing on a sound. If you've ever had the chance to be involved in a sound bath with all of those huge gongs and cymbals, it is amazing. Absolutely brilliant. I know there are a couple doing it online at the moment, a couple of places doing it online at the moment. But it's fantastic. I do love a sound bath, and the drums, like Christine mentioned earlier. Zen meditation, and we've got to Zeds. So this is the last one on my list, obviously connected to Zen Buddhism. It's seated meditation. You have to think, but go beyond thinking, if that makes sense. So there's lots and lots of variations on a theme. Rhiannon loves gong sound baths. They are fantastic. Maria, candle flames. Yeah, candle flames are really good for focusing on as well. Karen gives sound baths. Oh, fantastic, Karen. I absolutely love them. They are brilliant. So you've all probably all done meditation. Does anybody struggle with it? If anybody's got any questions about it, or, tell us what your hints and tips are, then I will relate them to everybody. I think it's important to make sure that you are comfortable, and it does not involve folding yourself up like pretzel. You really don't have to. You can sit on a chair, you can lie on the bed. I've got one of those garden sun lounger chairs. That's brilliant for laying back in. Christine says, I always tell a beginner to focus on candle flames and then trying to keep the image of the candle in your mind focus. Then when lose the image to focus back on candle flames, it helps to stop the mind monkeys. Yeah, brilliant. Candles are absolutely brilliant, particularly if you're starting out, aren't they? They give you that kind of focus to work with. Karen falls asleep a lot in meditation. Yeah, I quite often do a meditation just before I go to sleep because it helps me fall asleep. I don't think it's a problem at all if you fall asleep. I think that's actually part of it. It's all about relaxing, isn't it? I think I always suggest that people start by focusing on your breathing. All you have to do is literally focus on your breathing in and out. You can breathe in positive energy, breathe out negative energy, or just focus on your breathing. You don't have to change it. There are lots and lots of breathing techniques, but just focus on it, and it gives you that kind of point to work with. Leslie, if I lay on the bed, I end up falling asleep. Yeah, but I don't have a problem with that. I think meditation does help you fall asleep. So Maria's mind doesn't cease talking, so it takes quite a while, or I just cease trying. Yeah, I think that's where guided meditations come into it, something to focus your mind on. Eva suggests knitting. I think any repetitive craft, knitting, crochet, sewing, anything like that is really good for getting into a meditative state. It's repeating, isn't it? It's that repetitive thing. Drumming and music. There are all sorts of other music. You don't have to listen to the plinky plonky stuff. There are lots of nature sounds on phone apps and on YouTube. There are some brilliant meditations on YouTube, and there's also drumming and crystal and gong sound baths as well on YouTube. If you put your earphones in when you're listening to anything on YouTube, it does cut out all of the outside stuff as well, and it works better. But there's all sorts of stuff. There's chanting and all sorts of things. I find some of the Hindu chants on YouTube are very, very good for meditating as well. Aim, hello Aim. Chant a mantra mentally or listen to one. Yeah, I think there's quite a lot of them again on YouTube. Andrea finds drawing and painting can be meditative, or colouring mandalas or other pictures. Yep, absolutely. Getting out your inner child and doing a bit of colouring. Lexi recommends Ways to meditate for people with chronic pain conditions would be appreciated. Oh, okay. Ways to sit, stand, lie, and meditate without causing additional pain. Okay, let us have a look at that one. Okay, so I think the point here is that you don't have to sit cross-legged, like you've got the traditional Om picture that you see in all the meditations. You don't have to sit like that at all. I think you just have to sit in a way that's comfortable for you. I have been to some meditation sessions where we've laid on a yoga mat and then had a cushion under our knees. So if you lay flat, put a cushion under your knees so your knees are bent but supported by a cushion under each arm, and obviously a cushion under your head and your neck. That actually lifts up all of the pressure off of your back and your pelvis if your knees are lifted up and supported. And then with a blanket over, because if you lay down and you stay still for a while, you will get cold. You might need a bit of help setting that up, because getting the cushions in the right place. But cushion under your knees, cushion under your neck, and one under each arm just supports you a bit. So that might be worth trying. But find a way that's comfortable for you. I say I use the sort of sun lounger type chair that sits up and then it lifts your legs up as well. But you can, if it's more comfortable to just sit in an armchair or to lay on the bed, you can do that. There is no need whatsoever to sit in any specified position. You have to sit in a way that's comfortable for you. So definitely give the cushion supported by cushions a try. Make it comfortable for you. Christine, when sitting with others in group meditation, I found we all did the same journey. Yep, we've had that too. I think particularly if you're connected with the other people with friendship and sorts. Yeah, it happens. Leslie's the same. My mind doesn't shut up. I think it's important to acknowledge the things that come into your head and just let them go. Don't ignore them or try to just shove them away. You just have to, yep, I acknowledge you, now move on. And bear in mind that most of us live in houses where there's people around or people outside. I went to a day meditation session once, one of the cacao chocolate ceremony. Fantastic day. But opposite the building was a school. So every break time, we heard all the children coming out to play. But you have to just acknowledge that noise is a background noise and let it go. To get absolute silence is very difficult. And in fact, if we ever did achieve pure silence, apparently it drives you mad. So avoid pure silence, because we don't need to be any madder than we are already. Sue, Tina Turner's doing some chants, but they're 2 hours long. Well, yes, I have heard they are very good. I mean, she's got a lovely voice anyway. Yes, I have heard and seen them. You can find them on YouTube. You don't have to listen for the full 2 hours, obviously. Ivan meditates with one of the elements. Yeah, if you pick an element to work with, and actually I'm going to cover that in a sec in the pathworking, because pathworking is brilliant for working with the elements. Oh, great. Thank you, Lexi. I'm glad that idea makes sense. Give it a try. Christine loves her old rocking chair. Yeah, I think it has got to be something that you are comfortable in. There's no point trying to meditate if you're uncomfortable, because it ain't going to happen. Obviously, avoid noisy distractions if you can. There's a certain dog that prevents me from meditating quite often. But know that you don't have to meditate for hours and hours straight. It can just be a few minutes. Close your eyes if you want to, but you don't have to. Obviously, if you're focusing on a candle flame, you need to keep your eyes open. Visualization is a key as well, I think. And if you do struggle with stuff, try a walking meditation. Obviously not when you're trying to cross busy roads and things, but somewhere safe. Just try a walking meditation. Count your steps, or open yourself up to the nature that's around you. That can also help as well. Remember that it's a journey. It's about finding the answer to a question, or just some peace or relaxation. It's your journey, and the first few times you try it, it might not work. I think meditation particularly is one of those skills that builds up with experience. So don't worry at first about the quality of the meditation either. I also think I have a lot of students say to me, I didn't see anything clearly. It was all blurry, or I couldn't get a clear picture. There are very, very few people that see a meditation like a film strip. It doesn't happen in my experience. Obviously, it does on occasion, and obviously some people are very good at it. But generally, I find people will get the idea of an image in their head, or a fuzzy picture, or even just words sometimes, rather than the whole. It's not like a 55-inch HD TV screen. Generally, most people aren't going to see meditations like that. So roll with it, and do what works for you. Maria says cats do the same, always scratching at the door. I think cats always want to be involved in anything that's spiritual, magical. Rhiannon's done walking meditations in the woods and was rewarded with finding a rook skull. Oh, wow, fantastic. Diane says, reaching that pure state of complete single-mindedness is a lifetime's work. Yes. Yes, it all takes experience, and you will have good meditations and you will have not so good meditations. Lani, once the kids go back to school next week, it'll be easier for a lot of people. Yes. Yeah, it's been a challenge for a lot of us during lockdown. Leslie is able to visualize better with your eyes open, especially journeying. Yeah, do what works for you. You don't have to have your eyes closed, not at all. The other thing that I find is meditating with crystals. Now, you can hold a crystal in. I like to hold two when I'm meditating. It just kind of makes it balanced for me, but it's entirely up to you. Whatever crystal you want. There are crystals that are more suited to meditation, but pick something that works for you, basically. Hold one, hold two, hold them in your hand while you meditate, and allow the energy from the crystal to help you reach that meditative state. Blue coloured stones tend to be more calming. Purple and clear stones will help you reach that higher state of consciousness. Amethyst in particular, clear quartz. And if you're doing healing meditation, then pick one that you associate more with healing. But it's not just about holding the crystal. You can actually visualize. Put on your virtual rucksack and your imaginary hiking boots, and do like Alice in Wonderland. You do the drink me, eat me, to shrink yourself down. Place the crystal in front of you and visualize yourself getting smaller, and literally hike all over the crystal. You might find that a door will open in the crystal and you can go inside and have a look around, or you might be able to walk across the top of it or around it, or particularly if you've got a new crystal that you've not worked with before, meditating with it like that is a brilliant way of connecting with the crystal's energy. Have a quick drink. Sue's cats meditate for 23 hours a day. Yeah, Debbie says, my cat loves cuddles and I find it actually helps me meditate with her purring as I stroke her. Perfect. Kerry, palm stones are good to work with. Yes, palm stones are brilliant for meditation. Christine used to ask my kids to pick a crystal and tell a story on it. Helps them to calm down and focus on a mind journey, then sharing with us all. A fantastic idea, Christine. Absolutely fantastic. Sue, yes, if you lay on the floor, you could put the stone on your forehead. If you lay down, you can put the crystal on your third eye, or on your heart chakra, or on your sacral chakra, or on all. Particularly if you're working with a chakra meditation, it's not so easy to do it on yourself, but if you can get someone else to put a crystal on each of your chakras while you're lying down, that really helps with the chakra meditation. Sue's off. See you later, Sue. Thank you for joining us. Right, so that's crystals. So I want to show you what's inside my little parcel now, because I'm going to talk about pathworking, journeying, and hedge riding. And whenever I'm doing any of those, I work with this. So let's just do a quick description. Pathworking, sometimes called journeying, inner plane work, or vision questing. It is used a lot in shamanic practices. It's a structure of meditation with a purpose to it. It's a guided journey, but into your inner world or other planes, other world, land of fairy, wherever you end up. But it has got a structure to it that you set out beforehand. You need to be a little bit more experienced with meditation skills before you try this one. It allows you to stretch yourself. It allows you to dip into your inner power, to connect with divinity, to help with decision making, to seek out past lives, and to connect with messengers and spirit guides. It takes you beyond your conscious, basically. To set it up, you have to decide what you need from the trip. Why are you journeying? What path will you take? What's your destination? Who would or what would you like to encounter? I mean, obviously things will appear that you may not have scripted for, but you have to start with the image of where you're going to enter your meditation. It has a gateway. There's always a portal to it. It might be a gate, it might be a knothole in a tree, it might be a doorway. You decide all of these details before you start your path working. I suggest writing them down. You do enter a meditative trance state, but you've got that kind of structure to it, so you know where you're going and what you're seeking. You've got to have a reason to be there. It's not just a shut your eyes for 20 minutes and see what happens. This has actually got a purpose to it. It helps to write down the framework. So you need to find a safe place, obviously, and comfortable where you won't be disturbed. Ground and center. I like to record the journey. You can record them on your phone. Your phone's got recording apps usually. I like to record the journey first. I'll script it out and then I'll record it. It takes you through your portal, and then you follow all the stages of your journey. You might meet someone, you might meet an animal, you might see things. It's quite a good one to work with the elements too. You can pick an element and give the purpose of meeting an elemental guardian, which is always quite interesting. So if you're going to journey to meet the earth elemental guardian, you would structure the landscape. So you might go through a cave doorway or a hole in the rock, and into a dense forest, because that's very earthy. If you're working to meet a water elemental, then you might dip into a pool. Structure it so that it makes sense and so that it all hangs together. Hopefully at that point then you will meet the elemental guardian somewhere along the journey and ask them the question that you have. Listen to their answers. That might be vague, they might be images, they might be symbols. It might not make sense at the time. When you come back out of your path working, write them down. Write down what you've seen, what you've heard, what was told to you. It might take a day or two to process the images or the information, but it will be very useful. So that's path working. Hedge riding is something I do more regularly. It is slightly different. Hedge riding is a term used to describe the journeys that a hedge witch makes. Similar to the underworld, otherworld journeys that a shamanic practitioner makes. Again, I think it's something that you need to have a skill of meditation under your belt before you try, but it is fascinating to work with. The hedge is a symbolic boundary between the worlds, which is why hedge riding, where the term hedge riding comes from, because we're riding the boundary between the worlds. It's the journey your spirit takes into the other world or the underworld realms, sometimes called the upper and the lower realms. The middle realm is where we are every day. It takes your spirit traveling back in the past to connect with ancestors. You can work past lives with it. The upper realm can provide us with connection to spirit guides and teachers and the divine. The lower realm, often you'll find animal guides and souls that have passed over. It's not something to be taken lightly. It definitely isn't somewhere to just visit because you're bored or you've got 20 minutes to meditate. Again, like the path working, it should really have a purpose in mind. Quite often it's for healing or seeking the answer to a question, for spell work, and also for spiritual enlightenment as well. It is fascinating, but it takes a bit of practice and takes a bit of experience. I would also recommend taking an animal spirit guide with you. I have one in particular that only comes to the underworld realms with me. It is similar to shamanic journeys, and it also incorporates the art of seer work, where you communicate with the spirits. there are the three worlds. So there is the underworld, Hades, Tirnanog, or Helheim. So it's not the deep, fiery hell pit, not in my experience anyway. It's got that kind of idea to it, hasn't it? It's got that kind of reputation. The underworld, dark, scary, and full of flames. Maria, been too wary of doing hedge riding yet? You're right, Maria. It is in one of the lessons further on in the school, so we do make sure that you're prepared first. But the underworld is dark, a darker place. It may often appear as caves. I quite often find that it becomes a sort of primordial jungle. It's got that real earthy beginning of the untouched world to it. There are dangers, but you can meet them in any of the worlds. So, it's earthy, it's stable, it's grounding. It's the base from which the world grows. It deals with our emotions, our intuition, our basic needs. You can meet ancestors here, animal guides, guardians. This is where you'll find the plant spirits. Underworld kings and queens of the fairy realm are found there as well. It's also the place that experienced practitioners will go to for soul retrieval. Rhiannon, very interested to try hedge riding, both much teaching first. Gypsy loves hedge riding. Yeah, it is. Once you've got the knack of it, it is very, very useful. Then you have the middle world. The words in the bottom of it just underwear. Underwear is a dark place. I guess that depends on what underwear you've got. Underworld. I shall enunciate better. Then from the underworld, you've got the middle world. You've got Earth, you've got Midgard, you've got Bith. So this is actually where you can time travel. Think Doctor Who, basically. You are, aren't you? Middle world is very much like our own world. You can find yourself in familiar structures, buildings, places, landscapes when you're in the middle world. It's got bad spirits, but it's got good spirits. So you do have to be a little bit wary, just like in normal life. You will find earth and fertility deities here, along with all the elementals are here as well. Land guardians, messenger deities, nature spirits, and the wild hunt. They all work on Middle Earth. Eva, do you cover animal guides? There is an animal guides lesson, Eva, but there's also a branch lesson as well. If you want to start that, you can start that at any time. Then we go to the upper world, which is Avalon, Asgard, Olympus. Different names, different cultures, same places. Sylvie, totem animals. Totem is a bit of a weird word, Sylvie. Totem doesn't actually mean what we think it means. The pagan world, the witchcraft world, has taken the word totem, and it's doesn't actually quite mean what we think it means. We have sort of hijacked it, which is why I tend to use the word or the term spirit animal guides instead. But, go with what works for you. So then you go to the upper world. It's beautiful up there. Spirits live here, and it shows beautiful landscapes, dreamy clouds, sparkling streams. All that is amazing. This is the place to meet and greet spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, devas, deity, and animal guides as well. It's the upper astral. It's the spiritual plane, place of enlightenment. It's knowledge, inspiration, ideas, wisdom, and also healing. The upper world can help remove yourself from your ego and see where things really are. Some people cast a circle before you journey. So with the three worlds, think about the tree of life. You've got the branches, which is the upper world, the trunk, which is the middle world. Thank you for your contribution. And the roots, which is the underworld. Quite often people will use that tree of life symbol to enter into each world. You might want to cast a circle. You may want to give yourself a shield of protective light, whatever makes you comfortable. I usually smudge first or use some incense. It is fascinating. You do need to have an idea of what your purpose and intent is, like the pathworking. If you've got a question or advice on a situation, bear that in mind. Take note again of any symbols you see, any objects you find. But you need that portal again. You need that doorway to be able to enter. So whether it is the tree of life with the branches, the trunk and the roots, whether you use doorways or caves, it's got to have those sort of 3 entry points so that you go in at some point. Debbie, what are the dangers of hedge riding? What can go wrong? Same with pathworking, same with shamanic journeying. Hedge riding, you are dealing with the spirit world. And particularly in the middle one, there are bad spirits as well as good spirits. So you need to know, you need a bit of experience to be able to get yourself in there, and you need a bit of experience to be able to get yourself out. Obviously, nothing bad is going to happen to you. You aren't going to burst into flames or anything, but you can have uncomfortable experiences, particularly if you're dealing with soul retrieval or something like that. You do need experience before you work with it. But if you are Kitchen Witch students, we do take you through it step by step further on in the lessons. It is a fascinating subject. You can start out with meditation and see where it takes you. But hedge riding is definitely something to experience if you are more adept with things. So I'm going to show you what's in my little bag now. And let's get, there we go. Right, so I have just this little pouch here, and I use this for hedge riding because as well, if you're doing any kind of hedge riding, pathworking, journeying to other worlds, it's advisable to have something for protection, whether it is an incense blend or a crystal, something with you that will, it's the psychic side of it really. So inside here, and I made this cloth with 2 pieces of cloth, patterned on the outside, plain on the inside, and inside here, hopefully you can see, is a load of stuff. This is my journeying pouch. This is the one that I use whenever I am pathworking, journeying or hedge riding. I open it up in front of me and I'll put a candle as well and light the candle, sometimes some incense. But in here I've got all sorts of things that associate with hedge riding. So I've got feathers because element of air. I've got a little dragon because I work with dragon energy quite a lot. That's my protection from when I'm hedge riding. I have a bracelet with my wild boar on because he is my spirit animal guide, so he generally comes with me. Although I have found if I go into the underworld, he won't come. He won't come with me. When I go into the underworld, I have a black panther that meets me. I've got a little pentacle, bringing in the elements, but also bringing in protection. I have, we mentioned palm stones earlier. I have a smoky quartz palm stone. Smoky quartz is really good for protection. It's good for grounding, but it's also good for meditation. So I carry that in the pouch as well. Got several other stones here, crystals, again, that are good for meditation. This one, I've got selenite, which is good for connecting with divine. Blue lace agate and fluorite, both really good for meditation. I have an RAF badge from my great uncle and a brooch of my grandma's, both passed over, so that's my connection to the spirit world. I have a King Arthur brooch because I'm working with the realms of Avalon at the moment, so that's my connection to that. I've got a piece of sea glass, which is all about emotions and balancing the emotions. I've got a hagstone, which is representative of my matron goddess, the Kalak. She's often with me, well, always with me, but often joins me. I have a squeaky dog, apparently, squeaking in the background. I've got bay leaves for clearing negative energy and for providing protection. I've got a piece of cinnamon bark, cassia bark, because that's really good for psychic connections. I've got rose petals for love, protection, emotions. You know, rose petals are good for all-rounders. These little white ones are jasmine flowers. They are really, really good for psychic abilities and meditation. I have a silver coin. Silver is very good for protection, but it's also good for conducting energy. Piece of star anise, because that's really good for psychic abilities. I have a little wooden acorn, not a real one, but a wooden acorn, which is very good for journeys. It's for new journeys, new experiences. And I have a button, because a button to me is quite real world. So this is my connection to the real world to help bring me back. And then I have no idea why the sequins are in there. I can't remember why they got in there or how they got in there. I'm assuming it's because, sequins are pretty and it makes life sparkle. But sometimes things appear and you have no idea why or when. So this is my journey pouch, and you can make them, you can add anything that you want to it. But it brings that connection. It helps me click into, right, I'm opening this up now. I've got all these objects here that have all got their very own special energy, and they're going to help me on my journey, help me, guide me, protect me. All of them have got a particular reason for being in there. I didn't throw them all in there first off. I started off with one or two bits, but gradually over the time, I've added other bits to it that I felt needed to go in there. There's no structure to it. There's no list of must-haves. These are just things that go in there when I feel they need to go in there. And sometimes I'll take things out as well, depending on what I'm working with at the time. I have it open while I'm doing the meditation, and then when I'm finished, fold it up again. Maria made one of these. Yes, you've got a piece of the fabric, haven't you? These are, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be a piece of felt or an old handkerchief or an old headscarf would be brilliant. Maria carries acorns in your coat pocket. Brilliant. Kerry, do you change or add to the contents if you felt something else was needed or no longer needed? Yeah, I say it started off with, I think the bracelet was first to go in there because my animal spirit guide comes with me. And the acorn was in there and one of the crystals. But as I feel, each time I open it, I often think, actually, that needs to come out, or that needs to go in it. So you'll find it's a little bit different each time, or it could even stay the same for weeks or months on end. It depends what journeys you go on. You can just use this for meditation. I use it for hedge riding, but you could just use it for meditation. It could be a meditation bundle, because all of these items have their own energy, and that energy adds to your meditation skills and tasks, and will help you journey, will help you focus. If you like to keep your eyes open while you're doing meditation, then you've got lots of items here to focus on. And it might be that each time you meditate, you focus on a different item. So it takes you on a different journey each time. This is the first time I've actually opened it to show it to anybody. I just thought the other day when I opened it that you guys might like to see it, because I find it a really, really useful tool, particularly because my mind is always full of mind monkeys. This is another way of helping you focus on meditation. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could just be one crystal and a feather or something. Take it and make it yours, basically. Trust your intuition on what you put in it, what you take out, what you add, what you take away. So yes, Kerry, it can be ever changing. Make it entirely your own. Yes, Gypsy, I add and remove from mine when needed. Yeah, it is a brilliant thing to have, because it gives you your focus. Whether it is meditation, pathworking, journeying, hedge riding, whatever, it gives you that boost. It gives you a help. You're very welcome. Yes, it is very personal. I haven't shown it to anybody before, the insides anyway. I just thought it would be useful, and I think sharing is a big part of learning. So hopefully it has helped some people. But yeah, make it yours, make it personal, and depending on each journey will depend what you put in there or take out. One other thing that I haven't mentioned is drugs. I know there are tribes and cultures that use herbals that have psychedelic, psychotropic, whatever the word is. properties to bring themselves into a trance state. I will never, ever, ever recommend drugs in any way, shape or form. You won't ever hear me recommending them. I believe it is absolutely possible to achieve a trance state with practice and experience without the use of anything stronger than a cacao. If you have ever had the opportunity to join a cacao ceremony, that is the raw form of chocolate. You can buy it from Amazon and make it yourself. That actually really helps, and it's not nasty. Actually, it's quite nice if you add honey and sweetener to it. It's quite nice. It's quite strange on its own, makes your tongue stick to the roof of your mouth. But if you're part of a cacao ceremony before meditation, that really, really helps. It does help put you into a different state. But no, I would never, ever recommend drugs, because I believe you can achieve that trance state by yourself. It may take a bit of practice, but you will get there, and you'll find your own way of doing it. Everyone will work slightly different with it. But no, just say no. Just say no. Yes, Gypsy, opens your heart chakra true and brings an expansion to it. Yes, if you do get the opportunity to do a cacao ceremony, please do. And if you buy it from a health food shop or from the internet, do try it first on its own. It's a bit of an experience. It is chocolate, but it doesn't taste like chocolate. I find it's better to add honey and cinnamon and spices to it. Gypsy, yes, drumming is a good way of getting into trance. Absolutely. Sue, could you make this when going on a long journey? Yeah, absolutely. No problem with that at all. Go for it. Karen, yes, gone into some lovely trance states with sound. I think we do disregard sound sometimes. It is really, really important, whether it is drumming or sound bath or crystal bowls or whatever it is that you use. Even don't forget about some of the actual, not just the plinky plonky music. There is some beautiful plinky plonky music, but something like the band Journey, some of their songs are fantastic to meditate to. Pick something that you love. Pick some songs. Kate Bush, she does some fantastic stuff for meditating to as well. It doesn't let's not put this in a little box. It doesn't have to say meditation CD on it. If the music works for you, if you want to meditate to Megadeth, then do it. If it works for you, then absolutely brilliant. Go for it. We don't like boxes, don't like labels. Let's break out. Good morning, Kay. You don't have to apologise for being late. You can catch it on the replay. It'll be on the replay in a very, very short while. Diane, Tubular Bells. Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield. Absolutely brilliant for meditating to. Fantastic music. Yes, as Eva said, there's a certain frequency that helps to induce us to a trance state. So you've got to find what works for you to help you get into that trance state. Gypsy, Pink Floyd is the closest you'll get to a sound bath. Gypsy, I love you very much, but Pink Floyd would not even come into my front door. I'm really sorry, but I think it's dreadful. But if that works for you, I've probably lost lots of followers now. Sorry, not a big Pink Floyd lover. But if that's what works for you, absolutely go for it. Jess loves Megadeth. Yeah, Megadeth over Pink Floyd any day of the week, Jess. And yes, Kate Bush is amazing. Absolutely I love it. Nightwish for Sylvie. Yeah. Sorry, Kerry. Kerry loves Pink Floyd. I don't. I'm really sorry. I'm not sorry at all, actually. But I think that just sort of says it, doesn't it? That everybody has their own personal tastes. Maria, shine on, you crazy diamond. Yeah. Go with what works for you. It really has to be a personal thing, because what works for some won't work for another. And particularly with meditation, you've got to find that sweet spot that takes you into that meditative state. It is about adjusting the waves in your brain. There's all sorts of sciencey stuff. It is in my meditation book, but there is a scientific side to meditation and to trance work. Good morning, Heather. Gypsy, each their own. Yeah, absolutely. I do hope you'll forgive me for hating Pink Floyd. But yes, anything that helps. Rhiannon, The Pan Within by the Waterboys. Yeah, I love the Waterboys. Fantastic. Anything that helps you. Meditation can be quite tricky to achieve. So anything that helps you get into that state, the Maria Doom metal, why not? You know? if that's what helps you get into that state, then absolutely go for it. If you hate the piece of music you're listening to, you're not going to get into a meditative state. Leslie did her first meditation to Tubular Bells. It is a classic one to work with. It's really brilliant. But add to it anything that helps you. Working with crystals, holding one each in your hand, putting one on your forehead, lighting incense or essential oil. If that scent, because that's another one of our senses, it's not just sound. Another one of our senses is smelling things. So if that scent gets you working, then go for it. Oh, I've been waffling for a whole hour. I do apologise for taking up your time. Could talk all day and that would be really boring, but there you go. Karen, going to try Rhiannon. Yeah, you know, give it all a try. Give it all a try and see what works for you. There's no right or wrong. Do what works for you. All sorts of layers to it. All sorts of things you can bring in to help boost it. So that's kind of it, really. And then when I finished with my journey, fold up my parcel, roll it up, tie it back up, and it gets left on my altar again till the next time that I need it. But it's really easy to make. You could, I mean, I've just got a couple of pieces there and hemmed it, a piece of material and hemmed it, but you could, you know, you can use a headscarf or anything that you want to, really. Make it your own. It's your Heather works with salt lamps on and meditates in the dark. Yeah. Whatever works for you. It's your journey. You have to make it work for you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me and for staying with me for a whole hour. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Lorena McKenna. Yes, she has some fantastic music to meditate to as well. It's got to be yours. Go with what works for you. And as always, if you would like me to talk about anything specific on a Friday morning, please do pop me your suggestions. I'm happy to try and answer or work with any subject that you would like me to. We've got I think we've got a Waffling Witches on Sunday, 10 a.m. Looking at my diary. On the Kitchen Witch Coven group, Waffling Witches, myself and the Hearth Guardians. Is it 10 o'clock? Let me just have a look. Yes, it is. 10 a.m. in the Kitchen Witch Coven on Sunday. Myself and the Waffling Witches, we're going to be talking about magical herbs, so do join us there. And every Wednesday evening, over on the Moonbooks Facebook page, we have different authors each week giving a talk. Oh, there's the link to the Waffling Witches event. Come up in the comments. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Oh, thank you. Thank you for all your lovely comments. You are fantastic. Oh, I'm glad you've learned things. Sometimes when I pick a subject like meditation, I think, oh, everybody knows all about that. But hopefully we've taken stuff away from it. And Eva got lots of knitting done. I'm in awe of you, Eva. I can't knit. Karen's going to make one. Excellent. Oh, have a lovely holiday in Cornwall. Rest of holiday. Totally jealous. Yes, we have an autumn equinox online ritual as well in the Kitchen Witch Coven on the 20th. The link to that's come up in the comments as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, sorry, Sue. I've run out of time to draw a card, haven't I? Draw your own card, Sue. Let's know what you drew. Thank you so much, guys. You are all absolutely fantastic. And hopefully see some of you on Sunday at the Waffling Witches. If not, see you back here again next Friday. Thank you so much.